What's going on, everybody? It's me, Nisi, back to do another video. I wanted to share this book with you, and I'm doing it a little bit differently, okay? I've read Volume 1, Book of Wisdom, Volume 1. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, you guys, so bear with me. And I want to call your attention to this page where it says The Soul Trap, all right? I'm going to read this to you. And let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. See where it says The Soul Trap up here. Might not be able to read it, but just follow along with me. All right. So what is the soul? The soul's essence transcends the material realm, serving as the vital force that encompasses all experiences. Okay. It is the divine spark, an observer beyond the visible, a conscious entity navigating reality unseen. The celestial essence functions as the all-seeing eye, perceiving the intricacies of the mind, emotional states, and the sensory realm. It's the being experiencing reality. The soul, an immortal flame within, empowers the utterance of I am, the letter I, a singular line denotating unity, represents the true self devoid of gender, name, or form. It is the invisible one. The phrases following the phrase I am resonates within the dualistic confines of the material world. The soul is experiencing the program being played out by the central nervous system. All right. That is what the soul is. Now, we're going to talk about what is the mind. And I know I've covered this before, but it's important for us to get a good understanding. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. All right. I'm right here. So, the perception of the soul's experience is generated by the mind. The mind, with its boundless capacity, opens the door to the limitless possibilities. Every manifestation finds its origin in the individual's mind. Take, for instance, the act of kicking a football. It begins with a decision formed in the mind. Okay? And then it says, the mind serves as a projector for the soul. A prime example is astral projection, where the mind has the capability to project consciousness, which is the soul, into the astral plane. In this dynamic, the soul takes on the role of the observer, the mind acts as the projector, and the body serves as the vessel for the reality you inhabit. All right? One thing I want to call out when we talk about the soul and the mind, because today I want to just discuss really quick what is consciousness, or what is the consciousness and the universal mind. All right. Keep in mind one thing here. Show the picture. Soul trap. All right. I want to discuss this because it's very important for us to understand what this is, what we possess, what is our natural born birthright. We're not taught this. All right. You got to come into this knowledge by studying. And I'm sharing this information with you. It's up to you guys to go do your research. Some of you may already know this information, and some of you may not know this information. All right. So what is ego and what is the soul? Right here. I'm down here. Ego seeks to serve itself. All right. Ego seeks outward recognition. Ego sees life as a competition. Ego seeks to preserve self. Ego looks outward. Ego feels lack. Ego is mortal. Ego is drawn to lust. Ego enjoys the prize. Ego is caused to pain. Ego seeks to be filled. Ego is me. Okay? That's what it says. Soul seeks to serve others. Soul seeks inner authenticity. Okay? Soul sees life as a gift. Soul seeks to preserve others. Soul looks inward. Soul feels abundance. Soul is eternal. Soul is drawn to love. Soul enjoys the journey. All right. Make this bigger. All right. And it says, soul is cause of healing. Soul is eternal wholeness. Soul is we. Now, preparing for life after death. All things seen perish. All things that are not seen are immortal. Preparing for life after death is crucial while we are alive. While we depart from the body, we are left with the true state of mind and emotional self. All right. While we are alive, we can cover these things up with the distractions such as food, sex, and entertainment. This is why they have to keep us looking outwardly, because we are all born with this natural born birthright. And many of us do not know this. You possess a powerful gift deep within you. We are all, the majority of us are sentient beings in one shape, form, or fashion. And we carry this natural born birthright that we squander. If they constantly keep you looking outwardly, you will never go within to discover your true essence and your true power. All right? Like the book says, while we're alive, we can cover these things up for distractions such as food, sex, and entertainment. When we are in our raw spirit form, there is no hiding our true state of mind. It is important we kill off the lower nature of ourselves before we die, so that we don't leave the body with desire, lust, and greed, which may cause us to incarnate or reincarnate again, because we're attached to these things in this existence or in this lower realm. To prepare for life after death, the individual needs to remove all mental addictions such as desire for sex, food addictions, drug addictions, and all things that consist of a materialistic pleasure and wants. Instead of having mental addictions to the external world, we need to turn within ourselves and find love, happiness, and joy within ourselves, so we not rely on eternal things or external things to source our happiness and joy. The 7 deadly sins, which is lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, pride, are 7 internal states that cause us to operate ourselves in the lower 3 chakras. They are also the 7 internal states that we result in us wanting to reincarnate in the afterlife. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a picture real quick in this book. Shout out to Harry B. Joseph. This is the Book of Wisdom, the Revival of Wisdom. I want to show you a picture. I know I've showed you this many times. This right here. Let's see if I can zoom this in. Hold on. Bear with me, you guys. Trying to adjust my phone. All right. Chakra system. We've talked about this before. The chakra, which is a 7 energy center points within your body. All right. 7 churches, 7 candlesticks. All right. 7 chakras. These are the 7 energy points. This is the crown chakra. Crown chakra, third eye chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus, sacral chakra, root chakra. Energy flows up and down. There's a seed here that drops down 13 times a year because we have 13 months in a year. They've changed the calendar to cause us to be out of balance. All of these frequencies, all of these energy points within your body has a certain frequency. As I've stated before, and I'm showing you this on camera because it's easier for me to show you. Let me zoom out a little bit. A-E-I-O-U-Y-M. See? Here's the hertz. 963, 852, 741, 639, 528, 417, 396. These represent air, fire, water, earth, the moon, Mercury, Venus, Sun, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. The top echelon is the spirit. All right? This was what it means when Christ died at 33. There's 33 vertebrae here, and you see there's 33 little nodules, 15 minutes per nodule. It ciphers through your body. 6 times 4 is 24 hours in a day. This is how much time it takes for this to go up and down your spine, for this fluid to move up and down your spine. You got it? These energy centers, or these energy points, represent frequencies and hertz. This is why it's important for you to understand the things that you eat, the things that you consume, and the things that you put in your body will have a vital importance in whether or not this fluid is alkaline versus acidic. Okay, we are not meant to eat meat, you guys. And I know you guys are going to go, whatever, but I'm telling you, we're not meant to consume certain things. And it plays a factor in keeping us tethered to these bodies where we continue to incarnate. Symbolism. All right. This is a symbolism. Hand up, hand down. This pentagram is a symbolism for El, or God. This triangle that shapes up is the feminine aspect. The triangle that shapes down, the triangle that shapes or points up with the 3 points is masculine. Pointing down is feminine. You put both of them together, it's L, it's God, it's you, it's me, it's within us, all right? God lives within us, and that's the symbolism behind that. Want to say that's evil, that's the devil, that's this. Everything's been inverted on this planet. I'm showing you this. God is here. Temple. The sides of the head region are referred to as temples. Tem, the place of worship. El, ancient Canaanite name for God. God lives within here. That's why I'm telling you, there's a seed that drops. The pineal gland and the pituitary system is very vital to our health. This is why I say, and I suggest you guys not to use fluoride in your fluoride toothpaste, or either fluoride in your water, period. Okay, stop doing that. You're calcifying this. This is your direct connection with source. If your body's not functioning the way it's supposed to be, then you're going to be stuck in this lower state or this lower aspect. Okay, this is work. It's not something that can happen overnight. You've got to prepare. You've got to train to get back to the creator of all. All right. We're in this lower state of existence because we're stuck in a karmic loop. And I'm just expressing this information to you. Again, it is up to you to go do your research. Luke 17:12, the kingdom of heaven is within you. Can't make it any plainer. The creator of all lives here. That's it. Head means heaven. Heel means hell. Again, heaven is the head. Hell is hell. When we devolved or we descended into these fleshly avatars as spiritual and energy beings, now we in this existence. All right. One more thing I want to show you before we get back into this consciousness. This is the part I want to show you. Merkaba. Celestial sphere to portray different planes of existence. You have the vehicle for ascension, which is our bodies. They're avatars. Okay. Doesn't matter what color you are, what shape or size you are, we all possess this energy because we animate these bodies. Mer means light. Ka means spirit. Ba means body. All right. The vehicle of ascension is your body. Within this, I don't know if you can see these triangles here. You've got the male aspect and the feminine aspect. Everything is balanced. Okay. We are the perfect form, whether we know it or not. There is a mental plane, an astral plane, and a physical plane. A mental plane, an astral plane, and a physical plane. All right. We're in the physical plane. When you go to sleep at night, you're in the astral plane. To get back to the creator of all, you need to be in the mental plane, in the higher plane of consciousness. All right. This is a soul trap. The soul trap. Let's read this. Let me see if I can go back down in here. All right. The entities manipulating this realm are misleading humanity, fostering a distorted perception of reality. Like I've said many, many times before, there are things that walk among us that look like us that are not us. I'm just going to say it. Y'all know my favorite topic is cryptids, and y'all know my favorite topic is reptilians. There's over 9 different races of reptilians, 7 of which I would probably say don't want to harm us or do want to harm us, and maybe 2 to 3 races do. I mean, let me rephrase that. 7 probably do want to harm us, and 2 maybe not so much. They're indifferent. All right. I'm just saying, you got to do your research. So the entities manipulating this realm are misleading humanity, fostering a distorted perception of reality. A prominent illustration of the manipulation in this concealment of the authentic cosmology of our realm, commonly referred to as Earth Key. Okay. Embraces fallacious concepts such as the particle universe, entwined with the heliocentric model, confines the mind to a narrow belief in a purely materialistic universe. Present day teachings lead to 90% of the population erroneously identifying themselves solely with the physical body they inhabit. You are more than just a body. Yes, I always talk about the things that have happened to us here in the Americas, because you got to understand what transpired. The last fall, the last reset, the fall of Tartary, all these grand, beautiful buildings. There were millions, if not thousands, of melanated people all around the world. And we had very few light-skinned people. melanated people here. I mean, light-skinned people, meaning white people here at that time. All right. And you've got to understand that this is the seventh humanity. This is the seventh reset that we're going to go through. And I'm just expressing this information to you and saying, hey, go look it up. Go do the research. It's fascinating. It really is. The reason why I talk about it so much is because we've fallen in consciousness. And yes, we played a key role in the fall of Atlantis, in the fall of Tartary. Women did. We did. We played a vital role in that. All right. So let me get back to this. So it says, as previously mentioned, the mind serves as the projector of the soul, acting as a conduit connecting the soul to the body. By manipulating the mind, these entities ensnare consciousness within the confines of the physical body, which represents the earth in context. All right. You see that? The body, in essence, serves as a vessel for navigating the realm. The central nervous system, all right, the central nervous system functions as a mechanism orchestrating the program that shapes our consciousness experience. Consequently, when we engage in astral projection and detach from the body, which is a small cord, and incidentally, if you don't eat, you become more spiritually aware quicker, all right? The food helps you to maintain or tether to this physical form. All right. That's just a little nugget of knowledge. When we engage in astral projection and detach from the body, we are in effect departing from the earth. The body simulates the reality experienced by our consciousness, and leaving it through astral projection is akin to transcending earth. All right. Our minds are systematically indoctrinated to hinder access to metaphysical knowledge concerning the multi-universe and alternate realities beyond our current one. Our souls find themselves confined here because of the mind lacks the wisdom to project consciousness out of the soul system, a concept often referred to as ascension. All right. When the mind and the soul separate from the deteriorated body, all right, laden with material desires, all right, false identification and lust, they carry an additional layer of misguided identity. This results in the mind yearning to return to earth, driven by lingering desires for what it has to offer. Religious practices such as Buddhism advocate meditation to reach states of mind devoid of attachments to material possessions so that it would prepare them for death. Achieving mastery over the soul and the mind becomes paramount in preparing for life after death, where material pursuits cease to exist. If you die to this world, spiritually, physically, and mentally, before you die physically, you will escape the soul trap. That's why we say if you die before you die, you will never die. Get it? Get it? One more thing I want to cover back here. I'm just going to go over this really quick. I talked about the subconscious mind. Let me zoom out. All right. I don't know if you can see that, but hey, here it is. Subconscious mind. I've went over this before, but I have to tie it in. Conscious mind is the feminine aspect. All right. The conscious mind is, the conscious mind is the male aspect of your mind. It is responsible for everything you're aware of. For example, your visual field, your senses, and your thought. That's the male aspect. Sorry. Every conscious thought has an effect or emotion expressed within the heart. Emotion is what penetrates the subconscious mind with impressions. The stronger you consciously feel an emotion, the stronger impressed that the emotion into the subconscious realm. This is the brain. You have the male and female aspect. This is the hemisync. You've got to sync them both together. This is where the ego, the higher mind, the lower mind comes into play. All right. The subconscious mind is the female aspect of your mind. This part of the mind is responsible for controlling all systems in the body. All right. Without you being consciously aware of it. In other words, it's like your hidden part of the mind that is telling your heart to beat and your lungs to breathe. All right. The subconscious is 90% of your mind, and it stores all of your memories, languages, and everything you know, experience. Most importantly, it stores your mental programs. I'm zooming in. Mental programs. All right. We have subconscious programs, and we have reprogramming the subconscious mind. I've covered that already. I've covered this, but I just wanted to make you understand or get this concept through your mind and say that This is your brain. God lives here. The kingdom of heaven is within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. All right. You got to understand this part. I've showed you the temple. I've showed you what this represents. I showed you that, our bodies have a sacred seed within it. And we have this natural born birthright that we're squandering away because we're not taught these things. The seed of the mind is the soul. Here it is right here. Government is govern the mind. This is what they do with the programming and the external distractions. Mind, light, matter. Inner self is mind. The line equals one. Universal mind. Mental, mind. The seat of the mind is here. God lives here within us. And if we don't ever go there, we become vestiges. It's like a wasteland, desolate wasteland up there. Golgotha is the place of the what? Skull. Kingdom of heaven is within you. Next up, part 2. What is consciousness? We're going to dive into that. Within, high twin. All right. Intelligence. This is the computer. Your brain is a computer. Now, you might not be able to see this. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit more. And I apologize. I didn't tell you guys that you need to turn your phones, but I'm just going to keep reading. All right. All right, it says, what is consciousness? Consciousness is the invisible true self, the inner voice in our heads that represents our authentic existence. The consciousness, which is the real you, the real essence of you, right? It is where memory resides, where thinking occurs, and where emotions are felt. In essence, consciousness and the mind are one and the same. However, the term mind is often used to emphasize the thinking aspect of consciousness, right? All right. Thoughts and emotions and memories are composed of atoms. They are entirely separate from the material plane. All right. They exist beyond the physical world and are not bound by the laws that govern the material universe. Your consciousness does not reside within the body or the physical world. It exists outside of it and in a realm that transcends physical boundaries. That's the bag. That's the hook. People don't know this stuff. You are animating this body. Your mind, your consciousness is elsewhere, people. I'm just saying, your consciousness does not reside in the body or the physical world. It exists outside of that. That's why you've got to bring your computer, your brain into sync so that you could tap into the creator and you could tap into your higher consciousness. That's how you get out of this plane. You know, people want to look for this great white hope. And when I die, Jesus Christ is going to save me because I've gotten baptized and I'm living according to the word. You're only living according to the surface information. You've got to dig deeper into the occult knowledge and understand what this place is and what you possess. They don't teach you this stuff in these religious organizations. Yes, religion, if you want to utilize it, is good for community. But they make you stumble and falter because you never go within to tap into the essence of your divine true self. You are a sentient being. They're not going to tell you that because then they won't be. If you don't need them, then how else are they going to function? You see what I'm saying? If you don't need them, how else are they going to function? They need you to continue to keep doing what you're doing. I'm not spreading any fear, any hate, anything like that, but you guys need to understand this stuff, man. I mean, it's out there, and 99.9% of people won't even go look. I'll be modest. I'll say 85% of the people won't go look. The other 15% will. And the other 15% that go look and study and get it, out of that 15%, there may only be 5% that actually ascend and get this information. And I'm being honest with you. And I want to be in that 5%. I'm not here to get views and likes. I'm only here for a certain group of people. I'm waking up to a lot of different things. And I'm expressing this information to you. But you have to stay in prayer mode. You have to fast. And you have to go within. You already know this information. I'm telling you, it's no mistake. If you're listening to the sound of my voice and you see me on camera on the days that I come on camera, then you know we had some type of agreement before you came into these avatar bodies. And it was a time and place where we were going to meet. you were going to hear my voice, or something that was going to prompt you to go look at this information and go, okay, wait a minute. She's talking crazy, but wait, is she really talking crazy? Is she really making sense? I'm telling you, this was already preordained. It was already predestined for you to get this information. So back to what I was saying. The last part. They exist beyond the physical world and are not bound by the laws and govern the material universe. Your consciousness does not reside within the body or the physical world. It exists outside of this realm. It is a realm that transcends physical boundaries, okay? Your body can't go where your consciousness does. Your physical body cannot go. The brain acts as a radio receiver for the consciousness, with the body functioning as an antenna that picks up your stream of consciousness. We are already Wi-Fi. We're ancient Wi-Fi. That's why I say, that's why I tell you, they use the water, the air, the food, the entertainment, the distractions to keep you from realizing this information. Because when you wake up to this fact, you are a powerful being. They cannot control you any longer. That's it. That's the bag. That's the hook. It's a setup. It's a setup. When you come into these bodies, you don't know this shit. You don't know it. Because you are indoctrinated at birth, jabbed up with the Fauci, and everything else. And you're pumped in this bunch of bull crap with this indoctrination based on your family's education, based on where you live, your family is, what part of the earth you're in, what religion sect your family's in. You will never get to the root of this. Very few people will actually get this information. So it says, your consciousness acts independently, operate on a different level of reality altogether. All right. The brain acts as a radio receiver for the consciousness, with the body function as an antenna that picks up your stream of consciousness. In this sense, the brain and the body are tools that allow your consciousness to interact with the physical world, but they are not the source of your true self. Your consciousness exists independently, operating on a different level of reality altogether. The body is like an avatar, and the consciousness is the force controlling the avatar. I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back row. The body is like an avatar, and the consciousness is the force controlling this avatar. You can think of it like playing a video game where your consciousness is a player and the body is the controller you use to interact with the virtual world. Without consciousness, nothing would exist. The body wouldn't function, and nothing could have any existence. All right. Consciousness is the invisible observer that perceives everything. It is a fundamental aspect of all existence. It is not bound by physical form or material laws, and it is the source of all awareness and experience. Everything we perceive and interact with is filtered through the consciousness, making it a core reality of itself. If you are constantly, look at this brain, if you are constantly bombarded by programming, you're going to believe your existence. You're going to believe in the physical reality, the physical world. I'm telling you, there was once a time when we were great people and we didn't have to eat. There's once a time that we communicated telepathically with animals and with each other, right? This vestige in the center of our brain is shrunk down to a pea size now because of these beings that control this realm, right? They want to keep us in a lower state of vibration so they can feed off our energy and feed off of our bodies, people. We're stuck in a karmic loop. It's time for us to break free from that. All right. You're not going to learn this anywhere else. I'm just telling you, you got to take your time and you got to go do the research. You got to read this information. So it says, consciousness is the invisible observer that perceives everything. It is the fundamental aspect of all existence. It is not bound by physical form or material laws, and it is the source of all awareness and experience. Everything we perceive and interact with is filtered through the consciousness, making it the core of reality itself. Consider recalling your childhood home or a loved one's voice from the past. How do these memories materialize? How can you hear their voice without the physical presence? It's the boundlessness, invisible intelligence within us that facilitates such fears devoid of constraints or bounds. And the expansive domain of our intellect, limitless potential thrives. Every thought or imagination we entertain transforms into reality within the recesses of our mind. All is thought, all is mind, all is vibration. Everything is moving around us at thousands of speeds of light. Like, we can't see it because we're limited by our light perception and our hearing. We've been dumbed down to the lowest part of our existence. So there are things around us that we cannot see, things that go bump in the night, things that monitor us 24/7. And I'm not just talking about through these electronic devices. I'm talking about in the ether, right? You got to understand this and you got to know this, right? So it says, in the expanse domain of our intellect, limitless potential thrives. Every thought or imagination we entertain transforms into reality with the recesses of our mind. If you want something, you have to put it in your mind. You have to see it in the mind's eye, and then you have to go through the emotions of actually living it, receiving it, and going through what it feels like to your inner being through your atoms. I don't know how to explain it any more plainer than that, right? Because it's within you. Your mind is so positive. Intention flows where the mind goes. Intention flows where the energy flows. I'm just saying. This is a powerful computer. There are no constraints in our capacity to think or envision. There are no constraints to our capacity to think or envision. Whatever we conceive materializes instantly. All right? We've lost that gift. Okay, if they keeping us poisoned with toxins, with heavy metals in our skies, and fluoride and PFAS in our water, and GMO food that's not structured and has lost its nutrients, okay, and you keep going out to these fast food restaurants eating human DNA, what do you think you're going to devolve? We've devolved into the lowest state of existence that we possibly can be. Okay, there's lower dimensions, but we're not that far from it. I'm just saying. So it says, all right, the brain serves as a processing center for the invisible consciousness. It translates the commands itself by the mind or consciousness into electrical signals, which in turn manipulate the central nervous system. Thus, every action begins in the realm of consciousness, therefore manifesting physically. It starts in the mind, guys. If we're giving energy all the time to war instead of peace, love, and spreading that, be kind to one another. This is why the planet is the way it is, not to mention it's been hijacked by some non-human entities. I'm just going to keep it 100 with you. You know, I got to throw that in there. For instance, before kicking a football, invisible decision is made within the mind. It starts in the mind, guys. The true awakening occurs when we deeply comprehend the boundless nature of our invisible selves, an essence that is limitless, eternal, and formless, yet holds infinite potentials. Okay? Universal mind. This is it. I'm wrapping it up. To the universe, there are no separate beings. Rather, we are all fragments of the universal mind. We are all one entity having an experience in these bodies. What it's like to be Michael, what it's like to be Carolyn, what it's like to be Alex, what it's like to be Jordan, Devin, Corey, MJ, Keisha, what it's like to be, Melissa, what it's like to be Tammy or Simone or Zinzi or Joseph or Tijuana or Monica, Matthew. It's what it's like to be different beings. Aria, Lonnie, Tracy, Jordan. We are all one big family outside of these physical vessels. And when we come into these vessels, there's where the indoctrination starts, the hate, the racism. All right? That's where it starts. That's why you got to peel off the layers of the mind. All right. In this universe, there are no separate beings. Rather, we are fragments of the universal mind. Before or behind each living entity lies a common essence of invisible intelligence. All right. All right. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit more. All right. So empowering them to command their corporeal form, skin to avatar. Essentially, we've all interconnected aspects of an infinite consciousness dispersed and diversified into myriad life forms. All right. The mind acts as a lens through which we perceive our experiences. Consider that within this universe, there aren't two distinct entities. Everything emerges from a singular substance of mind. Everything is mind. All is mind. All is thought. All is vibration. All right. So it says, while our minds interpret sensations like hot and cold, in truth, there are merely different vibrational states of that singular essence. The principle applies to the various apparent dualities, such as water and ice, light and matter, left and right. They're all interconnected manifestations of the same underlying substance. All right. The mind acts as a cohesive force, molding these apparent opposites into a unified whole. Essentially, the one mind underpins every perceived duality, enabling us to distinguish phenomena like temperature or state of matter. Consequently, everything we perceive is filtered through the lens of the mind. Additionally, our individual minds mirror the universal consciousness, often envisioned as God, creator of all, Allah, the great spirit, the source. Just saying. Another example of the concept is how the mind acts as a charger of negativity or positivity. Every experience we encounter, every event that happens to us inherently carries neither good nor evil. It is neutral. It's the perception of our minds that assigns a positive or negative charge to these experiences. For instance, one person may perceive as a setback or a failure. Another might view it as an opportunity for growth or learning. The event itself remains the same, but the interpretation and emotional response vary based on individual perspectives and the state of their minds. Understanding that we are expressions of the universal mind underscores the wisdom behind the golden rule. Treat others as you would like to be treated. The principle resonates deeply because it acknowledges the interconnectedness of all beings. Dumb racists don't know this shit. The white supremacy reigns true. I'm just going to say, I'm not being racist. I'm not throwing shade. It's just as well as you've got white racists and the white supremacy, you've got dumb Negroes that run around, call themselves black and African American. They can't understand that we are all divine beings and we're all one. But when you're in this existence, you have to understand you've got to rise above all of this hate and this racism and understand the history of this dome so they can make better for you, for the betterment of you. Understand the history of what's been done and understand what this place is and get the hell out this existence. That's the goal. That's the wrap. That's it. That's the agenda. Can't make it any plainer. So it says, understanding that we are expressions of the universal mind underscores the wisdom beyond the golden rule. Treat others as you would like to be treated. This principle resonates deeply because it acknowledges the interconnectedness of all beings. When we interact with others, our actions have a ripple effect on their consciousness, just as their affects ours. Our consciousness intertwines with the consciousness of others, creating a web of interconnected experiences. By treating others with kindness, empathy, and respect, we contribute to the collective well-being. Conversely, actions that harm or disrespect others ultimately reverberate back to the effect of our own consciousness. We got a bunch of psychopaths running around here, trafficking children, scaring children, draining them of their essence, their life essence, and taking that in and utilizing that to keep them in this existence because they're energy vampires. They feed off of us physically and energetically. This is why I say when you run around and you sleep with different people, you're not only sleeping with that person, you're sleeping with all the other people that intertwine with that being, and then that's sleeping with those beings that slept with those beings. It's an energy exchange, a sacred energy exchange. People don't understand the gift that they have. And I may sound like a crazy person to the majority of you, but I've got plenty of sense that if I can figure this stuff out, then so can you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. And so with that, I'm going to wrap it up. I don't want it to be too long. I've already been at like 30 something minutes, 38 minutes. And I just want to make this short video to explain to you that the creator of all lives within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. The high twin, the intelligence streams into the computer. It's a receiver. The body is a receiver and the computer is a receiver. The body is an antenna and the brain is the receiver. And we animate these bodies. Our soul, our consciousness is streaming in. Okay. This is why they want to block out the sun. This is why they want to do things that they've been doing, because they know this information and the general public does not. Most people think 666 is Satan. It is not. 666 is not the mark of the beast. If you want to say the mark of the beast, then you want to say the lower aspect of man. 666 is basically 6 carbon, 6 protons, 6 electrons, or six electrons, six electrons, protons, and 6 neutrons. It's a carbon-based life form. It is man. Okay, that is not the mark of the beast. If you want to say mark of the beast, it is of the fallen, because we fell into our lower state of consciousness. All right, we're in the lower state of existence, and that's what that basically means. Okay. The path of the stars never change. We are stars. We are monsters, rock stars, cis stars. I mean, we are. We really are. 666 is the mark of the beast. Like I've said before, the earth tilts at 23.4 degrees from a 90-degree angle. That is 66.6 degrees. The circumference of the earth is 21,600 nautical miles, which is 6 times 6 times 6 is 600, which is 666. The curvature of the earth is 8 inch per mile squared. That is 0.0666 feet per mile squared, whereas supposedly traveling around the sun is 66,600 miles per hour, 666. The diameter of the moon is 6 by 6 by 6, which is 21,000, which is 2,160, which is 666. And this is the symbolism of that, the Freemasonry. And this is the sun, this is the moon, and this is the signs. In the United Nations, there are 33 degrees, 33 sections, 33 degrees of the Masons, United Nations. There's the symbolism there. Jesus died at 33. We have 33 vertebrae. Now, do you see? This existence is considered to be hell, or the heel of earth. Heaven is a state of mind. Heaven is within you. The kingdom of heaven lives here. And you have to tap into that energy. And you have to understand what this is. You have to understand what your avatar is capable of doing, and then proceed to do those things. But you've got to empty the cup of muck, and that means working up those energy centers, those 7 points of energy centers within the human body. You've got to work through that, because you've put on years of programming, years of damage to your body, years of damage to your spiritual self, right? So it's going to take you time to get to that point to where you clean out the cup of muck. Raising your vibration. All of these vibrations, are all these energy points within your body. All these energy points in your body is a frequency of 144,000. 144,000 go to heaven. Narrow is the gate, and few will find it, because you have to understand what these energy points represent within your body, and you have to understand what you possess as a sentient being. All right. I mean, I can't make it any clearer than that. I really cannot. 144,000 go to heaven. And the petals are simple, okay? And here's the math for that, if you can see it. 144,000, add the first 5 petals. The root is 4, sacral is 6, solar is 10, the heart is 12, the throat is 16. 4 plus 6 plus 10 plus 12 equals 48. The third eye petals equals 2 petals. 48 times 2 is 96. 96 plus 48 is 144,000. The crown petals, the crown chakra right here, the crown chakra is 1,000 petals. 1,000 times 144 is 144,000 hertz. Jehovah's Witnesses believe exactly 144,000 faithfully Christians will go to heaven. This is a frequency you need to achieve in order to go from the root, from the lower aspect, all the way up to the crown chakra. Head is heaven, heel is earth. We're here in earth. We're here in the lower aspect of consciousness in our minds, and we have to learn how to raise our vibration. Yeah, it's a science to it. And this is the book I'm reading from, book 1 and book 2. Here's the symbolism for the male, and here's the symbolism for the female. It's right here in front of you. People say, oh, this is a pentagram, this is evil. No, it's the balance. We're out of balance. We're in chaos, people. You can utilize religion, and you can read the text to make you a better person or betterment of you, but you're not going to understand the occult teachings because you haven't been taught it. And this is where you have to go within. You have to clean out your cup of muck. You have to meditate. You have to fast. You have to fast. You have to pray. And you have to ask the creator of all to bring this into existence for you. And you can understand what these things represent around us. It's not enough just to say America is this or Israel is this, which is no Israel. It's actually Palestine. I'm just going to keep it 100. Or the Ukraine and Russia, all this war and infighting and inbreeding is all by design and to keep us distracted from going within to learn the true information so we can get the hell out of this existence and move on and graduate. And if you want to say go to heaven, heaven is a state of mind and it lives within you. And many of you will never reach it because you're too focused on the outside self, the material aspects, and you will never be able to receive this information nor even understand it. I hope this message finds you well. I appreciate you guys joining me. I'm sorry I didn't tell you to turn your camera at an angle, but you know what? I'm here to share this information with a few people. Only a few of you will understand, and even fewer will understand and get it. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Be the change you want to see.